you spoke about culture shock for you coming to America. Like, what are some of the cultural things that for Americans, and we've got a lot of Americans listening who are wanting to move here, but don't really know the ins and outs and what it entails? I mean, what are some of the cultural shocks you think they should be ready for?
Yeah. So that's by the way, those cultural shocks are things I struggle with. I'm not a
Okay,
very patient person.
that's a problem.
Um,
That's a problem in
I'm not
Portugal,
only,
man.
I'm not, I didn't only grow up in America. I grew up in New York.
Yeah,
I grew up in a hard charging, you know, part of the country. I also grew up in a business that moved at a pace that was, that's untenable, in most places. And so, uh, Portugal's slow. Some of it is deliberate, and some of it is just, I some of it is unnecessary. Um, but I think it's not a culture where urgency is a priority. Yeah, no, that's a really good idea. We'll let's keep talking about that.
yeah,
Whereas like we're used to, oh shit, that's a really good idea. Um, what are the three things we need to do to get that done? And
yeah.
what are you doing tomorrow morning? Can we maybe
Can we get
get
that
that on
going?
a calendar? Like, well, let's talk about that. That's a common Portuguese. Vamos falando, and I often
Vamos
say, vamos
ver.
falando. Okay, let's switch. Vamos fazendo. Let's go do. So,
Yeah.
um, low urgency and like low risk.
You know the
Portuguese
one
aren't risk
you know
takers.
the one that used to kill me? The phrase em princípio. Em princípio, sim. And I don't want to know in principle. I need to know that it can be done. No, in principio,
Yeah,
sí. No, 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 no.
yeah,
I need to know.
yeah,
Just kill me. And
yeah.
then pois, pois,
Entire course.
I agree with you, but I'm not going to do anything that you say. Pois.
Course.
Yeah,
But I'm used to, you get a client, you have a client and you have, you make a commitment and there's a plan.
yeah,
Um, and if you have 14, 15 episodes of a podcast, somebody sponsors it and you have sort of a consistent look and feel of the sponsorship throughout the whole thing. If we miss the first two episodes and it's a little different, it's okay. Uh, and that's just a broad example, but like, that is what happens. It's sort of like, no, well, I mean, we'll get to it. It's fine. I mean, it's,
yeah.
we've got 12 more tries at this. And so that to me, because then you see that everywhere. You see that in business. I've been trying to renovate a house in Braga since 2019. I'll be there on Monday. You know what? Like we had an issue. You think you could have called me and let me know?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, next time. Next time. Yeah,
yeah,
well, sorry. Let's have lunch.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you
yeah,
see
yeah.
that there. You see that in, I get so many people asking about the process and, the immigration process and the citizenship process. It just, stuff takes time,
Takes
but it
time.
gets done.
Yeah,
It gets done. And that's
yeah.
that's the other thing is like, it seems kind of messy and it seems kind of slow, but when it has to happen, it happens.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of the scenic route. It's like it's
Oh, it's
messy, it's
no
confusing,
yeah, when it's gonna
but
go, when it
you'll
has
get
to
there. You'll
happen,
get there.
it's brute force. Like
Yeah.
it will happen.
Desenrascar.
É o desenrasque dos portugueses.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah,
big one. So,
yeah. So
um,
for Americans, go slow. Just prepare to slow it
prepare to
right down.
prepare to go slow. Pushing, sending another email, making another phone call. Explaining to them why they have to be faster and smoother and more will get you nowhere. This is just now accepting and asking nicely, hey, do you think you can maybe nudge this along and push this along? That might actually help.